Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Friday, December 20th, 2019. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. You'll notice that we've had a very nice pullback and go to begin December, a 2-day pullback to begin the month, and a nice continuation higher. That's exactly what we talked about could happen, not only during the pullback but also at the end of November. We talked about the pullback into the zone could be a great buy for a continuation, and if price can continue to stay above the previous month's high here, 3150, 3155, much more upside could be seen, and we could even pull back as deep as that and continue higher. As a matter of fact, next month here you can see the current midpoint, which is still developing with another week plus to go here. Current midpoint 3142. That's right at where the previous month's close price is. Even if we were to close the month here, we could pull back into the pivot range next month here and continue higher, just as we did here, as we have continued to do ever since the pullback in October. So right now, very strong market overall. And again, while the market continues trending up, that's the expectation. Not really likely to see much of a pullback here, but if we do, again, inside the trigger zone, could be a buying opportunity. Right now, everything trending up in the very near term. We've gotten a breakout here in the previous session through 3-day highs. That could lead to much more upside. We have a major long-term target at 32.28. That's a good target here to look for here today's action. All right, let's take a look here at the NQ. All right, you see very similar price action out of the NQ. A nice pullback to begin the month, a nice continuation higher. Pullback and go. After the first 2 weeks of the month here, we've had basically the last 2 weeks of the month, and it's been exactly what we would think. Very low volatility, low volume, but trending up nonetheless. And we see a very clear uptrending price action right here. We've gotten a breakout through recent 3-day highs, very similar to the NQ here, and that has led to a nice continuation higher. So that breakthrough 3-day high is very important there. As long as price is going to continue to hold above 86.50, we have more upside ahead today, especially with a likely continuation toward 87.40. All right, let's take a look now at crude oil. Here's crude. Now, crude oil right now trading below VWAP for the day. The previous session here saw a nice higher low and a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, inside day, higher low, higher high, all the way back ever since the failed low here and the push into the trigger zone. It has been higher highs every day, higher lows every day, except for one inside day that led to the recent push. Right now we have another inside day, which could be similar to that type of day, but this market continues to trend higher toward 62. That's the next target above. Remember when we had the 5-day narrow range? Right now it's set to a 3, but a 5-day narrow range. The expectation was on a breakout we could go about 4 to 4.45 points of range. And right now we're still working toward that. From this 58 low, 4 points of range would take you to about 62. So we still have a little bit more upside here to go. Again, every morning buying the dips has been the way to go for a continuation higher. If this thing can still hold above 60.80, we have a shot to see more upside here today. All right, let's take a look lastly at gold futures. Gold right now chopping inside day, narrow range, 3.3 points of range for gold today so far in overnight trading. The previous session was very narrow as well, and then there was a very short-term breakout that put it to that high. But right now this thing is super compressed. It hasn't really wanted to find direction, and really there's not a whole lot to do right now. You have this lower line, obviously you have this big upper line right here, and then you have this 1490 level. Those are the major levels all coming to a head right now. 1495. Can it break up? Because if it can break to the upside, it could be tremendous movement. Again, what will that mean to the broader market though? As you see right now, obviously the month is not over, but right now we have a narrow pivot range for January, and it's inside December. I mean, again, that could lead to a major breakout come January. So we'll see how this continues to play out. But right now, especially on an intraday basis, it is kind of channeling a little bit higher here, but really this thing hasn't had much luck above 1490. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out the rest of the session. Today is Friday, so happy Friday. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the trader room. Take care.